Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I know it has been so long. I have been going through some, personal things. So I took a break from making videos and having a toddler take all my time. But I am back and I had my second baby and thank God for that. Everything went well. So today I just want to let you guys know that I am doing good and everything is going well with my family. Thank God. With everything that's going on through the world, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad, but I hope that we are gonna get out of this. I thought I answered some question that people have been asking me about my second delivery, and I thought maybe I'll give you guys a little story of how it went. This time it didn't go how I expected. It was so different with the second baby. So I got induced, but it wasn't with medication. So all they did was break my water. But the day that it happened, we didn't plan it. It just I happened to be at the hospital, and they just sent me into the delivery room. So I went in for my 39 weeks checkup, and then my doctor told me to go in for an ultrasound because I was asking him that. I'm like, why is nothing is happening? Because I had a false labor a week before. So at 38 weeks, I had a false labor. So I went into the delivery room and they checked me and I was 4 or 5 centimeter dilated. So they told me, okay, how's the contraction? I'm like, well, I'm not having any contraction, but I'm dilated. And so they let me wait there for an hour. Nothing happened. So they sent me home and says, well, we'll see you tomorrow. That's what the nurses were thinking. But a whole week went by. So I went in for my 39 weeks pregnant. So I told my doctor about it. And he said, well, I'll send you in for an ultrasound and see how the baby developing. And so I went into the hospital, and then they did the ultrasound. The nurse there didn't even tell me what happened, so she just told me to go to the delivery room, the room 25, and I know the room 25 is delivery room. So I went up there and I was asking them like, what's wrong? And then she just told me, just go up there. And I was like, okay. So I started to worry. And I came in, they put me on the table and they start talking to me. And I asked them, okay, is everything okay with my baby? And then he's like, oh yeah, the baby is fine. Just that the baby is not growing anymore. So we're thinking about getting you induced. Is that what you want to do? And they start talking about the thing that happened when you get induced. So they tells me, they might use medication, but because I'm already dilated that 5 centimeters, they can break my water and see how that go. And then there are other complications. Sometimes the baby can get stuck and it won't come out. So they say that they might use a vacuum to pull them out. So I started panicking because the baby comes with a cone head and then they have to wear a helmet for a while. So I was like, is this even a good choice for me? Because I was only 2 days away from my due date. So I'm like, well, is this even a good choice? And in my head, I'm so done with being pregnant. I just want the baby to come out. I just want to meet my baby already. So they broke my water, and then I don't know, we went by, the contraction started, but it was just like a little pressure, and then it started to get intense. So an hour passed by, and then I started having then every 10 minutes, and then from there every 5 minutes, and then now I am crying. And so they asked me if I want an epidural. So I had an epidural as my firstborn, and that went okay. It went well, but I had back problem after. So they asked me if I want an epidural, and I told them yeah. So they called the doctor, and then there's so many babies in the hospital, and the doctors were pretty busy. So they called the doctor. The doctor came in, but then somebody had an emergency section, so that she has to run away, and left me there, and I'm in so much pain. And they say, well, you sit here, and then as soon as the doctor come back, we're gonna do the epidural right away. And I'm just like, okay. So I stand there and I'm like, I couldn't sit still because my pain was just so much. It's like every minute, and she never came back. So I asked her, well, could you give me other things, like morphine or other painkillers? And she's asking me, is that what you want? I'm like, lady, I am crying here. Yes, that's what I want. And then she's like, okay, what if I check you and see how much you dilated? Do you think that will help you, that will make up your mind? I'm like, what language do you want me to speak here? So I told them, okay, check me. So she said, well, you're 6 centimeter dilated. I'm like, oh my God, I've been only been that much already. And an hour went by, and then the contraction was just back to back, back to back, back to back. And I'm begging this nurse to give me something, and she doesn't want to. She's not even telling me no or yes. So she checked me, and then I was 9 centimeter dilated. And I'm like, please give me something right now, right now. And then she wouldn't listen to me. She started calling the other nurses, and I'm like, why is she standing there and not giving me something? So she's like, do you want laughing gas? I'm like, okay, let me try that. I start breathing that thing, and it just made my
head all fuzzy, and I start feeling like, ooh, bad.
I could still feel the damn pain. So I just like, forget the thing. I threw it away, and I'm like, I guess I'm doing this naturally. And then the nurses came, and then they all put on their gloves. And then they asking me if I feel like I have to poo. And I'm like, I don't know. And then she's like, okay, when you feel the pressure, start pushing. And I'm like, wait, I'm doing this right now. Where's the damn epidural? I'm gonna die. So I started screaming really, really loud. And they told me, stop screaming. I'm like, lady, I'm about to slap somebody. It's either I scream or I'm gonna slap someone. So the next thing I know was that your body can do amazing things. So I started pushing naturally. I don't know, just out of nowhere, I felt the urge to push, and I just did. And I'm like, oh, what was that? And then the second time, they told me to grab my legs and then start pushing. And then I'm like, I don't think I can push. I don't think I can push. I don't think I can. Okay, I'm pushing. And then I push, and then the head came out. And then she's like, okay, now give another big push. And then I just push, and then the baby came right out. And I was like, wow, what a tiny baby.
Can I go ahead and climb his cord?
Yes.
Like, can I disconnect him from you?
Is it going?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, it is going through.
He got my hands.
He does.
Oh,
He's very sweet.
Oh my gosh, he's already sucking his fist.
He did that at 20 weeks. He was sucking his thumb.
Okay. These scissors can, sometimes they take a little bit of effort. Okay, so just between these.
Within that few minutes, I felt like I was going to die. I felt like I was going to die. And then my mom calls me. So I told her, she didn't know that I was in labor. And she's like, oh, where are you? I'm like, I'm at the hospital. What are you doing at the hospital? I just had a baby. When? I'm still on the table. So she's like, why didn't you tell me? I'm like, because I didn't know. I didn't know that it was actually happening, and it did happen. So Alexander was born at 7:15, and yeah, I was like, this is what it feels like for people back home to have babies. But thank God, Mother Nature does an amazing things. Like, I didn't feel anything down there. The worst pain was the contraction, but I tear a little bit. I didn't even feel it. I did not feel it. They told me that I tear. I'm like, I did? And then she's like, yeah, you tear a little bit. And yeah, so that went well. And I am so proud of like all the mothers out there, people who do it naturally. It is an amazing feeling. Like, after that, I'm like, oh man, I feel like a superwoman. I did this thing with nothing, no medication. And I was a little bit proud of myself. Even though I cry like a baby, I was proud of myself. So that's my little delivery story. And here's the little man. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet. And I'll see you guys on my next video. Bye bye.